little tricky to see, but way back to the right, up against the wood fence next to a big clump of bamboo, there's a large dark brown animal to the right with white stripes on her legs called an okapi. A lot of people think okapi are related to zebras because they have similar stripes on their legs, but okapi are the forest cousin of the giraffe. Very shy and elusive, okapi were not discovered by the Western world till about 1901, unusually late for such a large animal. Speaking of large animals, sometimes when I drive through this part of the reserve, I get to see black rhinoceros. I know they look indestructible, but they've been hit hard by poaching. There's less than 5,000 black rhinos left in the world today. Over to the right, we've got a couple of very large black and white birds called saddle-billed stork. One of Africa's tallest storks, saddle-billed stork, can stand 5 feet tall and have up to a 9-foot wingspan. Little tricky to see because, nope, yep, because he laid down in front of that rock wall back to our left. That's a black rhino there. It's kind of mixed in with the rocks. Evidently got tired and decided that was a good spot for a nap. Now, a fully grown black rhino like him is going to weigh about 3,000 pounds. He can run at 30 miles an hour. There is good news for black rhinos. Conservationists are working together with local people to monitor black rhino populations, assist in the emergency vet care, and rehabilitation of black rhinos as needed. That way, if they survive an encounter with a poacher, there's a greater chance they'll make a full recovery. We're going to head to the Safi River next. There we'll be on the lookout for hippos and crocodiles. Before we leave the forest, though, I've got a couple of different types of antelope on the hill to our left to show you. The tan-colored ones are called greater kudu. Greater kudu are Africa's second tallest antelope. Those are girl kudus. The boys get bigger and grow spiral-shaped horns, while the reddish-brown colored antelope with the white stripes to the left are called bongo. Bongo have been nicknamed the ghost of the forest. They're known for being shy and rarely seen. With bongo, both the boys and the girls grow horns. Hippos can be a bit tricky to see during the daytime, and that's because they spend much of that time in the water sleeping. This does make hippos nocturnal. They tend to be their most active during the night. Over to the right, you're going to see pink-backed pelicans. Now, the girl pelicans choose their boyfriend based on who brings them the nicest looking stick. That stick will go on to become the foundation of the pelican's nest, so instead of a ring, she gets a house. Hippos in the water to the left. Not the best swimmers, but hippos can hold their breath for up to 8 minutes at a time. Most of the time when you see a hippo moving in the water, they're just walking on the bottom of the river. They are pretty mobile on land, though. A hippo can run at about 20 miles an hour and turn on a dime. Zigzag running does not work with hippos. They'll zigzag with you. We're about to cross over a really old bridge, and this is the part of the river where I usually see Nile crocodile. You're going to see the crocodile coming up on our left. Just make sure everyone stays seated for me, please. Nile crocodile can grow up to 20 feet in length, weigh almost 1,000 pounds, and get the Nile part of their name because they were discovered in the Nile River. But you will find them in just about any body of water in Africa. They've even been known to go swimming in the ocean. We are now heading to the savanna grassland system of the reserve. This is where we should see the greatest concentration of animals. On our way there, I want to show you a baobab, or upside down tree. I've got a really nice looking one coming up on the right, and you'll see more of these trees scattered throughout the savanna. baobab trees do remain leafless for about 9 months out of the year. And during the rainy season, not only do they grow leaves, but they also produce a citrus-tasting fruit that the locals will use to make something similar to lemonade. I'm already starting to see movement on the savannah down below. I should be able to get you a pretty good view of just about everybody out here. We're going to start with some Maasai giraffe. Maasai giraffe are one of 9 different types of giraffe found in Africa. The Maasai are known for their reddish-brown color and lacy look to their patch pattern. You'll typically find Maasai giraffe in East Central Africa in countries like Kenya and Tanzania. I've also got Hartmann's mountain zebras on the right, one of 3 different kinds of zebras found in Africa. Got a couple of mamas and their 4-month-old baby girls. Hartmann's mountain zebras, as their name implies, are typically found in the hillier parts of the reserve. Zebras are members of the equine family. That means they're related to animals like horses and donkeys. This is Dad Zebra here on the right. Laying in the grass over to our far left, you're going to see beautiful dark brown and white antelope called sable antelope, named for their beautiful sable brown color. Those are the girls. The boys get bigger. The boys also get darker and darker as they age. The strange looking cones of earth popping up everywhere are termite mounds, but not the kind of termites that eat your house. African termites spend most of their lifetime inside those mounds. Now the mounds are made out of dirt and termite saliva. Baked in the hot African sun, those mounds become as hard as concrete. Got a lot more giraffe coming up, and they're going to be on both sides of us. The name giraffe is Arabic in origin. Loosely translated to English, giraffe means one who walks with grace. Another view of those beautiful zebras coming up on our right as well. Show them your tongue. Do it. Do it. Giraffe are known for having an 18-inch long prehensile purple tongue. Prehensile means they can wrap it around a branch, pull all the leaves off at once. Purple to keep it from getting sunburnt as they feed in the trees. More giraffe coming up on the left for those of you on the left. They are the tallest land animals. Giraffe can be up to 20 feet tall, and they have the same number of bones in their neck that you and I have in our necks. Theirs, of course, are bigger. That's 7 cervical vertebrae, by the way. And then also coming up on the left are my favorite animals in the reserve, big brown cattle, great big giant horns. These are Ankoli cattle. They also go by the name Watusi, which is the name of the tribe that first domesticated them over 5,000 years ago. Now those horns do for the cattle what a radiator does for a car. The horns help to cool their blood down on hot days so that they don't overheat. The horns are not as heavy as they look though. They're mostly hollow inside. On the hill to the right, you'll see some large gray animals called wildebeest on the hill to the right. Part of one of the largest animal migrations left on Earth. When wildebeest migrate across the Serengeti, their herds will number in the tens of thousands. I'm gonna have some more wildebeest up ahead on the right that'll be a little bit closer. Some of you might know wildebeest by their other name. They're also known as the gnu, spelled G-N-U. That's actually the name of the sound that wildebeest make to one another. Literally, when they talk to each other, it sounds like they're saying, "new, new." We're going to start making our way into elephant country. I do know of a couple of watering holes the elephants like to hang out near. We're going to take a drive by both of them, see if we can find just some elephants this afternoon. Say this first watering hole might be a no-go for elephants. Let me check one more spot and then we're going to head over to the other one. Nope, not this one. Let's go check out the other one. Researchers are studying elephants and how they communicate with one another in an effort to better understand exactly what elephants need to survive. Turns out a lot of what elephants say to each other we cannot hear. It's infrasonic or below the human level of hearing. Those infrasonic sounds can travel pretty far, and one elephant can be talking to another elephant up to 5 miles away. The really cool part is not only do elephants listen for those sounds with their ears, but they can also pick up the vibration of the sound through the ground with their feet. So elephants listen with their ears and their feet. See some elephants up ahead on the left. I gotta get closer to the flamingos to try to get you a view of them though. Hang on. Coming up on our left, you're going to see greater flamingo. Greater flamingo are the largest but lightest pink of all flamingo species. Flamingos, of course, get their coloration from the brine shrimp that they eat. It's the keratin in the shrimp that turns their feathers pink. Hillside to the left, there's a cheetah coming towards us down that hillside to the left. There's another one on the right side of that rock over to our left. Fastest land animals, cheetahs can run at speeds of over 60 miles an hour, but only for really short distances. Guinness Book of World Record clocked a cheetah at 72 miles an hour. They are one of the smaller big cats. Cheetah typically only weigh about 100 pounds. Any heavier than that, they wouldn't be able to run at the speeds they do. Now it looks like we made it to the Kopi. Kopi's going to be this big rocky outcropping coming up on our left. You'll see these scattered throughout the savannah. A lot of different animals like to hang out near Kopis. They like to hop up on the rocks and use them as a lookout post. We'll have to see if there's anybody in the area right now. Got some white rhinoceros coming up on our right. I'm going to get you closer to them around the corner, though. I see them over there, but I can get you a better view up ahead. There's a lion on the Kopi. Over to our immediate left, there's the two trees. He's closer to the tree on the right. You see that tan color? I actually think that might be the female. Lions tend to remain inactive for about 18 to 20 hours out of the day. They prefer to do their hunting at night. It's cooler, easier to sneak up on your food in the dark, plus they've got really good night vision. I usually see a male and a female in that pride. See how close I can get you to these white rhinos up here. Bigger than a black rhino, white rhinos can weigh over 5,000 pounds. Now, black rhinos tend to be solitary. White rhinos are social. They live in herds called crashes. I love a good crash of rhinos. Not named for the color of their skin, though. It's a mistranslation. White rhinos get their name from the Afrikaans word weit, meaning wide, refers to their wide grazing mouth. It was accidentally translated to white, and the name stuck. Down on the ground to the right, there's that little dirt road. To the right side of it, near the taller grasses in the back, there's ostrich eggs on the ground there. They don't really make a nest, they just lay their eggs in a clump. It is the largest egg made by a bird. Takes about 18 to 24 chicken eggs to be the same size as one ostrich egg. Ostrich will leave their eggs alone for short periods of time. The eggs are hard to get into. The shell's about a 1/4 inch thick. Apparently, mom and dad ostrich can be a bit clumsy when they go to lay on their eggs, and they'll accidentally stand on them, but they won't break. And that's really impressive because an ostrich can weigh over 200 pounds. Coming up at the Warden's Camp on our left, you're going to see Nigerian dwarf goats. These are fully grown. They're not going to get any bigger than this. And they're a dairy goat. For their small body size, they can produce quite a bit of milk. Some farmers in Africa are switching from larger livestock like cattle, which can be expensive to maintain, to smaller livestock like goats. Goats don't need as much room. They're pretty hardy and they'll eat just about any kind of vegetation. Any milk the farmer's family does not consume can be sold at market. It's another way the family can make money. This does end our safari. I hope you got to see some of the animals that you really wanted to see. If not, I do invite you to come back and join us again sometime. Different animals do tend to be active at different times of the day, and no two safaris are ever the same. I'm gonna drop you off at the nearest warden's post. From there, it's just a short walk back to the village of Harambe. I'll also be dropping you off near the entrance to the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. Take a stroll through the forest and you could see western lowland gorillas, hippos from under the water, meerkats, a different kind of zebra called a Grevy zebra, and make sure you check out my favorite animals on the trail, the naked mole rats. Here in Africa, though, we don't like to say goodbye. Instead, we say kwaherini, which means go well. So kwaherini, everyone.